Look, we turning conversation into application. This ain't for you if you can't handle deep communication. I see too many trying to teach when they need all the teaching. If you can't practice what you preach, then what's the point of speaking? Look, we thank the Lord for another season. Don't think they ready for you, Lee. I think them boys are sleeping. But we gon' hustle every hour like it's our last. Open up your mind, it's the converSAYtion podcast. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the converSAYtion podcast, where we turn conversation into application. I am your host, Leon Reed Jones, and today we got another very special guest in the building. He's like a big brother to me. He's doing great things. He's a father. He's one of the, in my opinion, one of the best artists in the city right now. I got none other than my brother. We went to school together, JPosey. What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Again, I'm glad to have you on. I've been bringing a few people back that I feel like definitely needed to be in the studio because you were one of the people that, you know, saw this vision and was able to be on live with me for one of my episodes. It was actually, I remember the episode and I got it on my YouTube page. It's Money Over Integrity, and you and my cousin were on there. And just a lot has changed since then, both for you and myself. So I figured it's only right that you come through for the studio, man. So again, definitely glad we can make this happen. And so a question that I always start off with my guest is, if somebody had to describe James, if somebody had to talk about who Posey is, what would you say?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is funny, you know, silly. I'm a silly person, man. I enjoy laughing, bro.
Most definitely.
But I'll say caring. Loyal. And I just want to have a good time, bro. Just, you know, I care about the people I care about, and if I care about you, whatever I got is yours.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I definitely can see that, bro, just how you look out for your people, your family, and anybody that you connected to. So I can confirm that right away, bro. So again, glad to have you. And another question I've been asking people is, what would you title this chapter of your life right now? Man,
I feel like it sounds cliche, but I'm not gonna lie. I want to say like growth, bro.
Yeah.
I want to say growth. I feel like I'm in my late 20s, right? So it's like, I mean, just with how the world is, period, and then it's the natural order of things, right? So just going throughout your 20s, learning more, kind of discovering yourself, blah, blah, blah. But then we had a pandemic situation where kind of like, I don't know, took a chunk out of like, I don't know, like them years, you get what I'm saying? So it's like trying to figure out everything through that, and then being a father on top of that. I gotta say growth, bro. That's what I would say, man.
Yeah, and just seeing everything that has happened since then, bro, just with your music and everything that we're going to get into with the podcast. But for you, just take us back to like your upbringing and how that shaped where you are now.
Yeah, so I had an interesting upbringing, man. It's weird. So like my parents was never really married, but they was together for like the first 9-10 years of my life. But I feel like both sides of the family kind of like so drastic from each other, right?
Yeah.
So you got my dad's side where, you know, his grandma was, you know, went to church. She was Adventist, and you know, she took him in, raised him up in it. But you know, he never really kind of conformed to it for real. So it's like he met my mom, you know, at Peterson. Okay. So they met, but it's like the beliefs was never really aligned. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I got my dad's side where really just, you know, it's a lot of street stuff going on, a lot of, you know, it's thugs and drug dealers, whoop-de-whoop, and you know, and then you got on my mom's side, bro, like they come from Kansas, man. Like, you know, I'm the first person born on my mom's side to be born in Michigan. Wow. So they you know, this is the culture is just, even though it's, you know, everybody African American, it's still different like subcultures within that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely depending on where you from, different regions, whatnot. So it's a drastic difference, but I feel like both of those kind of gave me an insight to like this life period, right? Just different aspects of life. So yeah, I'm appreciative of everything at the end of the day, bro. Like, you know, I can sit here and be mad about stuff. I can sit here and just be overly happy about everything. I'm grateful. Just that God guided me through everything at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro. And like seeing that you said it was a drastic, change between your mom's side and your dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to see both sides at an early age, like what was your mindset growing up as a kid? Like what did you think about everything that was going on?
I knew it was the differences. I knew I saw different dynamics within different families, so I knew it was differences. But I thought, when that's why it's kind of just normal. It's like, all right, so my grandparents, my mom's side, like we going to church.
Right.
I'm at Sabbath school bright early, like
Facts.
Sue and Ty on. We staying at church the whole day. We staying at go to potluck afterwards, like all that. The regular stuff on that side. Then if I'm with, my dad's, like, and the thing is too, my dad's parents not together either. So his mom and his dad's side is different as well.
Yeah.
So depending on what side I'm on over there, I might be at his dad's house, my grandpa, and I'm waking up Saturday morning and I'm, watching Dragon Ball Z or, eating cereal, and then we, going to play basketball outside, or I'm with my cousins on my dad's mom's side, and we was out mobbing, just walking through the street trying to find something to get into. So it was all normal to me. I knew it was just, if I go here, this is what to expect. If I go here, this is what to expect. But it was normal, really.
Yeah. And so with both of those viewpoints, like, how do you feel that made your outlook on life? Like seeing, okay, I'm over here, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, I'm doing this when I'm with these group of family members, and over here I know I got the suit and tie, I'm linking up with my people from church school or from Sabbath school. Like what did that kind of what was that like mindset for you? Like how did you look at life, like seeing both sides? And what side did you feel like you had to pick a side, or did you enjoy both? Like what was that like?
I think it really kind of opened my eyes about how how complex things can be, right? I feel like nothing really white and black.
Yeah.
Like even when like just within your own family, it's like so like for example, right, growing up, man, when my mom and dad was living together, like just seeing the difference in beliefs and whatnot, and so I kind of got used to this. I don't know. I think it kind of helped me respect other people's opinions that were different from mine, because I grew up in a household where it was just totally different beliefs, period.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think it kind of just helped me be able to be more down to earth and understanding different things as well. But as far as like the picking a side thing, I enjoy both, bro. I enjoy both. I enjoyed the friends I had going to church, and they come over, spend the night, or I spend the night with them, and we, eat dinner at their house. I enjoyed that, but I also enjoy like, knowing if I go over to my cousin's house, we could do whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I enjoy
sure.
both, bro.
Yeah, and just constantly going down the timeline, we make a stop at Peterson, the school that both you and I attended. So, because a lot of times, and I'm all about, getting to the bottom of things and not really constantly staying on the issue, but constantly doing something about the issue. And a lot of times I feel like when you bring up Adventists, or when you hear anything connected to SDA, is for the most part, with our generation or like young adults, it's negative. And then you can even go a step further to say like even older people, they certain disagreements with the church or whatever. So being at Peterson and being brought up as an SDA, what were some things that you experienced that you like, nah, man, we shouldn't be going through this, or like that you kind of, because a lot of times people hear, they may hear a person's story and feel like, well, you grew up Adventist, and they take what has happened to them. They don't know what you went through. They don't, they can hear about it. And even when you tell a testimony, or when you talk about the things that have been done to you that you don't like, because it's from another person's lens, and they like, well, that's not what this pastor did to me. That's not what this pastor said to me. That's not what this church member did to me. So they kind of discount it and throw it away.
Right.
And say like, no, well, the SDA church has been nothing but good. And I'm a firm believer that there are some solid Adventists out here, and some solid churches that want to help. But we can't discount people's, things that they've been through. But at the same time, I'm more of a person like, yeah, I want us to talk about it, but let's sit in a room or let's get something together where this can be solved. So like, what has been some things that you felt like, nah, man, that ain't cool?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I'll be sitting here writing a book. I ain't gonna lie to you, but so I'll speak for me personally, right? I can sit here and dib and dab with somebody else's life all day, but I'll speak for me personally. So, I dealt with a lot of mistreatment at Peterson, bro.
Yeah.
And from my belief, it kind of goes back to my dad, I believe. I heard he wasn't the best kid at that school. You know what I'm saying? I heard he caused a lot of problems, a lot of issues. I remember Straw would tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Straw would tell me he was always on him because he wasn't listening. Like, you know, and I think I kind of, when I first got there, it was instant. I didn't know the teachers. I didn't really know nobody. It was just instant, like, kind of like nitpicking. Yeah. And I didn't understand why up until probably 8th, 9th grade. So my second year there, I'm like, I'm starting to find out more stuff. So this is why they feeling like this. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it was just constant nitpicking, man. You know, I've told this story a whole bunch of times on social media, bro, but I got suspended for catching a fruit snack, bro.
That's crazy.
like dead serious. Like we in class. My boy Sharwin, like it's Miss Strawberry was teaching the class. It was like a Bible class or something like that, right? Yeah. And he in the back of the class, I'm in the front. He called my name. He just threw a fruit snack at me. Yeah. I mean, I could sit there and let it hit somebody, or you know, just hit the ground, but I can catch it. Yeah. I catch the fruit snack. Miss Strawberry said, hey, y'all both go to the office. Y'all done. Yeah. Miss Martin suspends us, bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
So like it's stuff like that, and then I would go around. I ain't gonna throw no names, but I've seen students do some wild stuff, and it's for sure. Come to the office, we talking, you back in the classroom. Yeah. So it's after a while, it's like, all right, bro, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, nah. Facts. So, yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like I've always said, it's been twofold, because nobody just running around complaining for no reason. You feel me? Nobody just running around telling their stories. But I think the part that I dislike on this part of the story is like when people discount what you're going through. Now, I would say you entitled to do whatever you want to do, but I feel like we can't just throw them stories away, because, you know, I feel like anybody that does somebody wrong, whether it's in the church, outside of the church, like, they should be held accountable. But I think for the person who's gone through the mistreatment, I think sometimes what is hard for us to grasp is like, sometimes you may not get that apology that you deserve. Sometimes you may not get that reconciliation. So like for you, seeing that, and I don't know if there's been any reconciliation with you or any of these people, but how did that help you move on? Or do you feel like you moved on from this, you know, mistreatment that you went through?
So, I had one person apologize, and that was Miss Martin. She apologized, and my relationship got better with her from that. Like, I'm not saying we super besties and nothing like that, but like it wasn't like, if I see her, I can say hey to her and keep it moving. You get what I'm saying? For sure. But that's pretty much it. Like my biggest issue was with, you know, Miss Gray, one of the teachers that was there. I nothing really came from that. As far as like healing from it, you know, whatnot. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, I graduated 10 years ago now, bro. Like, so it's not like it's something that's like constantly impacting me. But when certain names get brought up, like, yeah, I'm gonna feel away, bro, because I know for a fact, and I think just deeper than just the mistreatment itself, I was going through a lot at that time at home, and they knew about it. Yeah. And so it's like, we talking about this a Christian establishment. We talking about, you know, we praying and we having Bible class, and, you know, we have an event on Saturday, and these same teachers are, you know, they have positions in the church and they on the pulpit, but y'all knew what I was going through, and y'all still, you know, subjected me to that treatment. And so it's like, you know, on a regular, I mean, it don't bother me, but sometimes, you know, a face pop up on social media, a certain name, I'm like, like, man, I ain't trying to see them, you know?
For sure. So, yeah, man, I get it, bro. And I think for you, like, seeing, or at least hearing from you, like, what you went through, and to still have the joyful and caring spirit that you have, you didn't let what happened to you allow that same spirit to get into you, to where now you treating people like that. Now, granted, you said, you know, when I see these people, it's kind of like, I ain't gonna do nothing crazy to you, but it's like, I don't even want to be around you. Yeah, because, you know, that wasn't, from what you said, it was only one person that came to you and reconciled with you. And I think a lot of times that's what people look for. And I think we just try to tell people in so many words. We don't say it directly, but like, don't worry about it. Like, it's over with. Get over it. In a sense where it's like, these are real stories. This is real pain people felt. And don't get me wrong, anywhere you go, there's always going to be two sides to anything. Like, so a person may see Miss Gray or may see a teacher and be like, well, Miss Gray, she loved on me. She did this for me.
I done got that for sure. I done heard
you know
that,
what I'm saying? So it's like, what I believe in is like, yo, if they did James wrong, we need to talk about that. We need to nip that in the bud and handle that so that don't happen again. But you also got the stories where it's like, well, Miss Gray never did that to me, but that don't mean his story don't count.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That don't mean we just ignore it and put it on the rug, because this is how you experienced this teacher and this is how he did.
Exactly.
So I think that's the constant clash when it comes to, people speaking out on stuff that has happened to them or things that they dislike. It's not to say that SDAs are just terrible, because that would be like saying all men are trash or all women are this way, because we don't know what every man is like. We don't know what every woman is like, but we do know the people that we encounter, what they showed us.
Exactly.
And so on a bigger stage, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm with you with the, man, y'all knew what it'd be different if y'all didn't know. It'll still be messed up that y'all did that, but y'all knew like everything, and y'all decided to go at me like this. And a lot of it, from what you saying, is like, it don't even got nothing to do with me. Y'all probably treat me this way because of my pops. And y'all ain't even trying to get to know who I am. I could be a whole different person from my dad, and you treating me this way off the strength of somebody else. Like, that don't make sense. But I think something that I would love to see, not just within the SDA community, but just in general, is that people come together and have them conversations. It may be tough, because if you was to sit down with one of these people, it ain't gonna be like, yeah, let's talk. You gonna get something off your chest that you've been wanting to say, like, yo, no, I feel like y'all didn't do right, but I think both parties got to be willing. But I think if that don't happen, then we also have to be accepting, like you were, to say, hey, man, I'm not gonna get that apology. I'm not gonna get that hug, or I'm sorry, but I'm gonna make it my business to make sure I don't condone this type of stuff, or I don't become these very people that I'm really not, too big on, you know what I'm saying? So after that chapter is closed, like, what's next in your life? Like, I know you was at Oakwood for a brief stint, and then like, what does that chapter look like as you at Oakwood for a little bit, and then you start venturing out as a man?
Yeah, so I think obviously the stuff, with Peterson and wherever else is like, it's leading up to everything, right? It's all part of the, it's in the same book. But I think Oakwood is kind of like the pivotal point for me, where like, I kind of looked at everything differently, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's so wild, because like I say, right, so growing up, I might go to other family members' houses or friends' houses for the weekend. I don't go to church, but like, other than that, if I'm at the crib, I'm going to church, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I got to Oakwood to where I really kind of stopped going to church, bro. Like, and it's so ironic, right? We had the same the school, the same religion, but that's where it stopped at, man. I didn't like how I'm going to church, and like, for one, the pastor, the stuff he was be bragging, bro. It's like, bro, we broke college students, like, trying to we need motivation and hope to get through the week and whatever, and let alone whatever family issues we might have back home. We down here, a different state, just trying to get through these tough classes and whatnot. He's stunting, talking about his cars and this and that. It's like, bro, what? Like, how's your whole sermon about you stunting, bro? That's crazy. I did that. It rubbed me the wrong way. And then just seeing the people, like, they ain't even care about going to church. It's just, it's a fashion show. It's like, dog, what's we doing here, bro?
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for me. I started looking at stuff different. I was like, nah, bro, like, I don't want to be around that, bro. I don't want to be around that.
Yeah. So do you feel like, because being at Oakwood, like, you definitely can see, people making church or just anything where it's gonna be a lot of eyes and people in the building, a fashion show.
Yeah.
But do you feel like being there, I don't know, because you said like that was the nail in the coffin for you. Do you feel like that made you stop wanting to go to Oakwood or stop going to Adventist church?
It was Adventist church, period, bro. Like, and the thing is, I like that it changed my view on it, but I still went every now and then for a couple of years. Like, even when I got home, I went every now and then for a couple of years, but it was never the same after that. You know, like it was never like I felt differently, you know. But yeah, I went to Oakwood for one semester, bro. Like that's all I needed. I couldn't deal with no more of that, bro. Like, and I think, I mean, it wasn't even just Oakwood itself, bro. I once again, I still got family issues going back home. Like, I'm getting calls about crazy stuff happening. Like, so it's like it's all that combined. It just wasn't. I didn't think that was the best move at the time, bro.
Yeah, and for me, I just always like look at stuff like that because I find it interesting in a positive way because, again, you want to get to the root of the problem to see, like, because we having this conversation mainly to talk about your journey, your stories, but to also shed some light on some things that can help other people in their journey. So what do you feel like it would take for you to be able to say, like, I want to be able to go back to Adventist church? Or do you feel like right now you're not in that space to say, like, nah, I'm good?
Yeah, at this point, bro, I'm straight, dog. Yeah. Like, I think, coming back to what you were saying before, like, I'll never sit up here and say every Adventist is bad. Every Adventist is XYZ. Bro, I mean, my mom's side still is. My grandma still go to, you know what I'm saying? They still locked in their head. Nothing gonna waver them away from that. They you know, so that, like, I got loved ones that's still there. But even besides that, there's people I met along the way. I've met some great people along the way that still go, you know, like, I love you, my little bro. I love you, bro. You know, you still, so I'll never sit up here and say all Adventists are bad. But for me personally, I just can't get with that, dog. Yeah. I just can't.
And do you feel like it's because all the combination of things that's happening and you feel like I can't, what do you feel like the main reason is that you feel like I can never, I wouldn't say show my face in there, but like, do you feel like it's like, what is the reason you feel like you just off it, I'm straight?
Man, so besides the stuff that's happened to me, which is a lot, I look at other people's stories, you know, people I'm close to, you know, I don't like how they was treated. I don't like how they was done. Even people I don't even know, like just different things I might hear about. I don't like how that went down, or you know, I think on top of all that, I think it's what's allowed. Yeah, I think it's what's allowed
for sure
to happen and what's not allowed to happen, and that really rubs me the wrong way, bro. I mean, it's stuff. I mean, you know a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know a lot, and it's a lot of nasty, dark stuff that, you know, it should have been handled better, bro. And I can't get with it. I can't sit there and act like it didn't happen. I can't sit there and act like, you know, that's okay. I can't.
Yeah. And what do you say to the person, because we always know this is a pushback, right? Because you hear Adventists are supposed to be the standard, and you know, we're supposed to govern ourselves in a certain way, and I feel like that is a big reason why so many people walk away from the church, because I think you see this pastor, you see this elder, this person in the church, whether they hold a high position or not, and Adventists are bragged about in a way where it's like, some people brag about Adventists like they're the best thing since sliced bread, or like we are the only people on earth. But a lot of times I think when you see a pastor and you find out, oh, he was stealing money, or, you know, this elder was doing this with this girl and he was married and da-da-da-da, then when you hearing this at 13, 14, your mind can't wrap it around it, because these are the same people that's in your classroom helping you with homework, teaching you how to be this way, and then you look on the news or somebody let you know that at camp meeting this person did this and this person said this, and you can't wrap your mind around it because you 13. It's not like you, like how we grown men now, you like, dang, this can't be the lady that was telling me to do this, or this can't be the person that was judging me, or the person that was bringing sermons to us during chapel. So it's like, dang, now you let down, and now you feel like almost everything you've been taught is a lie. And some of this stuff, you know, is not necessarily spiritual or in the Bible. It's people saying this type of stuff, or saying you got to do this or you got to do that. That's people's thinking, and how people operate. It's not necessarily spiritual and biblical. It's people's own thinking that's saying this. So, like, what would you say to a person where it's like, well, you let a man slap you and beat on you, and you still with him, but you gonna lead the church? Like, what's your? Because that's a lot of the times what we hear. Like, when your man's out here doing the same thing, you ain't gonna stop. You ain't gonna cut him off. What would you say to that person that feels that way and gives you pushback for saying like, oh, I'm cool on the Adventist church?
I think I think it's just so totally different, bro, because I feel like, for one, it's a difference between your partner is somebody you in love with, or whether it's a close friend or whatever, and you talking about a whole entity of a church. Like, I feel like it's hard to compare that. But also, I mean, yeah, it's just the whole purpose of it all, at least from the mission statement I've seen, is that, you know, we are the chosen people.
Yeah.
We have a direct mission to save lives and bring people to God. Like, I might have knew that this girl wasn't the best. I might have knew that. Like, but I love her, but at least with you, like, you came to me like you was God's, like, you know, the embodiment of God himself.
Right.
So now it's like, I mean, if we're not careful, you can almost change my view of God from how you acting.
Most definitely.
So I think it's just, to me, it's just totally different, bro. I think it's just hard. It's hard to compare that.
Yeah, and the reason why I ask the questions the way that I do, because I'm always off camera asking these type of questions, because I love to hear perspectives. And my whole thing is, again, getting to the bottom of anything. So I think for both sides, for me personally, I think what has made most young people, just people in general, walking their race with Christ is like, I built this person up, or this person built themselves up to be like, almost like you said, like, you coming to me like you perfect in a sense. And then now, because I can't comprehend it all, I'm thinking like, oh, this how God gonna treat me, or this is who God is. When in reality, God is not who this person is. And a lot of times you hear people say like, well, which I sort of kind of agree, like, you know, if people was able to drive you away from the church, then you was going for the wrong reason. Now, I agree with that to a certain degree, because like I was telling my pops the other day, like, yeah, I'm still in the church and people applaud me for that, but it's like I could have easily went left. But you got to think, you coming up, you seeing both sides of your family. Me, and it's not to say because I come from a 2-parent home, or people that come from a 2-parent home, they just got it all together, because you and I both know people that's come from 2-parent homes, and then you like, oh, this what you going through, or like this what your parents was on. So it's like, it's not to say because you come from a 2-parent home or you grew up Adventist that you just got it made. But there is some structure in having 2 parents. There is some structure being brought up as a SDA or a Christian, you know what I'm saying? But I think I could have easily been one of those people, but I took the lessons that were given to me by my parents, and the people they surrounded me around were key. Like, they knew, and they were like super cautious. Some people even went to say my pops was borderline paranoid because he wouldn't let me and my brother do certain stuff or be around certain people. But I see as a grown man how that helped me so much. But then we come to, you know, people that's dealt with the things that you dealt with. They may have not had 2-parent homes. They may have not had the structure. So you can't compare every kid that has been brought up in the SDA community. It's like anything else. Like when you in school, you got 30 kids in the classroom. You may have 30 different learning abilities or 30 different learning skills that you have to deal with. So it's like, just because me and James both went to Peterson don't mean we had the same path. Like, but only similarity we probably had the same teachers. That's about it. But we both went through different things, and we were seeing each other every day. But the thing about it is, bro, people try to discount what you go through and be like, well, this person, and that may be true. Yeah, they may still kick it with this person that, you know, do drugs or talk to them crazy. But it's like, like you said, you brought this to me like, this is how everybody's supposed to act. But I think what we have to recognize is we can't put people on a pedestal, because we'll be easily disappointed. Now, I'm not saying people shouldn't have boundaries and standards, but I think a lot of times we so in shock because like, oh, this pastor did this and he professing to do this, when in reality we all are human and we all mess up. That's not to say that we can just, like you said, allow anything to happen. Like, oh, we're gonna allow this pastor to steal money because he got this large congregation, or because he imperfect human being. But it's so many layers to it, bro. I think we gotta give grace to one another, and it's hard, bro, because when you look at some of the stuff that we know just off Peterson alone, or just in the SDA community alone, you like, dog, how he still got a job, how this lady still doing it. But it's like, we gotta be able to establish, that's why it's a personal relationship with God. We got to be able to establish that personal relationship with God to where he directing our path and all that we do. So even if we still may have that resentment or that feeling towards this person, we got to know that God is working on us to be able to not be that same person, or be able to get to a space and a place where we don't feel those same feelings towards these people. But it's a continual thing, man. This thing called life is a continual journey that we got to walk so we can constantly be our best selves, bro. Because again, I do wholeheartedly believe that people should be held accountable for their choices and their decisions. But I think we also have to be mindful that not everybody will be held accountable from said people in the board meeting. Now, God gonna hold them accountable, but it may not happen in the time that we wanted to. But I think we gotta establish a mindset that regardless of what happens, we treat people right. We do the things that we know are right. And from what I can see, bro, you always are doing that. From your friends to Peterson, from the people you come in contact with, you from your neighbors, bro. Like, I was just seeing your story and you was with the young kids yesterday showing love. Like, bro, you could have easily been like, nah, like how most people do. I'm just done with everybody. Like, I'm gonna just treat people this way. But you chose to not let your circumstances get the best of you. Yeah. And just show that love that you was looking for from these people that was supposed to be the light of the world and all this, that, and the fourth. So I think it's a lot of layers that we gotta tackle as a community if we want to be whole. And, you know, if our mission is the same, then again, like I said, I was surrounded around people that had my best interest. Now, did I run into some clowns? For sure. We all gonna do that. Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, when people speak on church hurt, me and my pastor was talking about this the other day. Like, so I want to get your opinion on it. Like, do you feel like it's church hurt, or do you feel like it's hurt in general? Because my question to him was like, okay, if somebody disrespect me on my job, is that FedEx hurt, or is that just hurt in general? So like, what is your outlook on it?
I think it's, I'll probably say church hurt. I feel like it also depends on what's happening too. I feel like it depends on what's happening, but I would say church hurt. Yeah, I just feel like, once again, if you have a certain outlook on the church and certain things happen, you know, you get to taking out on the whole church. This church period. You don't want to go to no church no more, whatever it is. So it's like you got this forever stained feeling when it comes to church period. Yeah. So yeah, there's different layers to it. It depends on what's going on. Depending on how deep it is, it might just be hurt period. You know, but it depends.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And as we move to another chapter in your life, and bro, I think I told you this before, but I may not have. I don't remember. But like, seeing you and all the stuff that you endured, bro, I just think your story is so powerful. So again, I'm just so happy we able to be here and sit and talk. So you had a situation to where, you know, you could have almost lost your life. So just take us through that and what happened with that.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying God is good, bro. For
sure.
I feel like, I don't know, God just, it's beyond words, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like his picture is just so much bigger than we could be sitting here painting for the next 50 years and we'll never be able to even get to 50% of what his picture is, man. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. But no, it's depression, bro. I feel like I dealt with depression on and off for a long time, bro. Like, since I was a kid, dog. Like, probably like 10, you know. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but I would have times where I just feel super low, you know. So you fast forward to 2018, 2019, and I'm dealing with depression pretty tough, but I'm not thinking that, oh yeah, I'm about to end it all, nothing like that. I got hope that things can get better. 2020 comes, man, and this from the gate, bro. That year was just crazy, though.
Nah, facts.
It was crazy. I mean, we talking about within the first 3 weeks, Kobe died.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Me personally, bro, I caught a gun charge like the third day of the year, January 3rd, bro. I got flicked and it got dropped, but it was just a lot dealing with that for the first few months, trying to get my license back and all type of stuff. So I mean, it was just, the year started off crazy. Going from there to losing my grandpa.
Yeah.
And I mean, the year was wild, bro. It was just so much chaos and so much death. I think about 40 people I knew died that year, bro.
Man.
And from COVID to murder to suicide, like it was just all type. It was a wicked year. So I think the depression I was already feeling going into that year, it was just maximized by everything that happened.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, the depression was eating at me. And I think the last straw was early January 2021. And I'm at work, and so at the time I was like a mentor to a autistic young man.
Yeah.
And his mother was just, she kind of said anything, bro, like no filter, and she just had some kind of like radical opinions and stuff, man.
Yeah.
She ended up saying something that disrespected my grandpa, bro. So at this point, my grandpa was gone already, and I'm not, I'm trying my best to keep my composure, but like, about disrespecting my grandpa in my face, bro.
Yeah,
It ain't happening. And so that ain't the best. I left that job. And I was just mad. I was angry, like, bro, like after everything that's happened, like, why does this got to happen too?
Yeah.
Like, for what? Like I like that day that I got into it with my mentee's mom. I had bought him a gift for Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, like, what did I do wrong to have any of this happen? So I was just like, bro, like. And even at that time, like that whole weekend, cause it was like a Friday. That whole weekend, I was mad. If you would have, I think I made my attempt on like Monday. If you would have asked me Saturday, was I gonna do that? I'd have told you no.
Yeah.
And so time go on. I'm just kind of I'm boiling. I'm just getting more and more mad as time go on. I wake up that Monday, man. I felt a way that I never felt in my life.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, bro. I didn't care about nothing, and I was just overly angry, bro.
Yeah.
I was just mad. Like, my mom picked me up. I told her I was going through. I told her how I was feeling. She could hear my voice, and she's like, let me come pick you up and let's just go do something. Like, so we drove around for a while, and I'm venting to her, and I'm hoping that by the time this ride is over, I'm gonna feel better.
Right.
It's my mom. I'm her baby boo. I'm hoping that that connection, with praying and whatnot can make me feel somewhat better. It didn't do nothing, bro.
Man.
Drop me back off at home. I think before that ride was over, I'm like, yeah, today the day.
Yeah.
And the thing is, bro, like, a lot of people don't even know, like, it didn't start with just me, bro. Like, I had a whole list of people I was gonna do something to, bro.
Yeah.
I pulled up at a person's house, bro. Like, I sat outside their house, and I was waiting for them to come out. And they came out, it was gonna be over with.
Yeah.
They never came out. And a voice in my head was like, if you do this, like, your chances of salvation is gonna be slim.
Wow. And
that they bother me, and I'm like, I'm like, I feel like if I just do it to myself, if I commit suicide, then maybe God will understand my heart. He will understand the suffering, the turmoil, the agony down here, and He would maybe give me some kind of pass. I don't know how to, everybody feel like if you commit suicide, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I'm thinking God got to know my heart, because He know this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I literally can't take this no more, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I turn around, and I go to Peterson parking lot, and I only went there because I knew nobody was gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I go there, I'm sitting there contemplating, I'm thinking, and then I get a text from my mom, like, don't forget to pick up your sister today. I'm like, oh man, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
So I leave and I go pick her up, and I'm trying my best to act as normal as possible.
Yeah.
But like, So we getting towards the end of the drive. I'm dropping off at my grandma's house. And I was telling her, like, be good, like, you know, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And she looked at me so weird, like, she knew she didn't say nothing, but she later on she told me she knew something went right. Like, I was telling her to be good, and that was the hardest thing I ever to do, bro. She was the last person I talked to before I did that. That was the hardest thing I ever did, bro. Was saying goodbye to her. Yeah. But I dropped her off, went back to Peterson, and I sat in the parking lot and I prayed to God. I'm like, God, if I ain't supposed to do this, give me a sign. Like, have somebody pull up right now and stop me, or have a certain phone call is call me right now, and I won't do it. That'd be my sign not to do it. Yeah. I waited for about 10 minutes. I ain't getting no sign. I'm like, well, God, you know my heart, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this no more, bro. Like, so yeah, I put one of my favorite, like, old school songs on, super old song. It's kind of a dark song, but I like the song. And I turned it all the way up, bro, and I cocked my gun back, and my heart got to beat, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm thinking, like, I'm sitting there, like, am I really gonna do this for real? Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, bro, I don't know, this is crazy, dog. Like, and I'm like, bro, if I keep sitting here thinking about it, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. I made a quick move, boom, boom, right in my chest, man, and it was kind of like this minute of, like, days, because it was so loud. You know, the windows rolled up. It's just, the impact is so loud. You seeing, like, the what's it, like the powder, whatever, from the from the shot. It was just like everything was like a slow motion. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, I really just did that. Like, and I started laughing. Seriously. Wow. I started laughing. I'm like, bro, I can't believe I just did that. It was funny to me. But I probably stayed conscious for about a minute after, and then my last thoughts was like, I didn't regret it. I'm like, it's too late. Ain't no point in sitting here, trying to cry as I'm about to die. Like, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, this is what I wanted. I accepted it, and I closed my eyes, and man, I wake up. I don't know how much longer it was, bro. Like, I wake up and it was dark outside. I'm still in the car. I'm like, bro, did I just dream that I just did that? Like, right. Like, why am I waking up in the car? I was like, is this what heaven is? Like, this what hell? Like, what's going on? Like, and so I look down on my chest and I see blood, and I start to feel like my back was real wet. And so I'm like, oh, like, I'm here. I'm still here. Like I couldn't believe it. I thought I was dreaming for a while. I mean, I thought I had dreamt it all or something for a while, and then I'm like, nah, like, I'm here. Like, God want me to be here. So from then I'm like, all right, well, I got to get to the hospital or something, because I'm gonna bleed out if I don't. Yeah. And I'm like, I know I didn't wake up for no reason. I should be gone right now. Like, so I start trying to drive. I reverse out, leave Peterson parking lot. As I'm leaving out Peterson parking lot, my vision is starting to leave. I think I'm losing too much blood at this point, and so it's just starting to affect me in different ways. So my vision is starting to leave. Bro, I'm driving, like, I couldn't even see, bro. Like, I made it probably, like, I was close to my grandma's house. I got, like, I made it probably like 4 or 5 blocks away from Peterson, and I was close to my grandma's house, and I ended up running into a fire hydrant, and that's what ended up stopping the car. And I just, even that part alone, bro, like, you know how crazy that is? No, like, bro, real. Like, so I know, going to Peterson, you go to that school and leave. So I don't know how much you know about that area of the streets, but people be zooming through the streets all the time. Most definitely. They zooming, so it's like, bro, like, somebody could have easily, I could have hit somebody easily. Somebody could have smacked my car easily. Yeah. Like, somehow I didn't touch nobody, nothing, and the neighbor came outside, and he called the police, and the wild part is I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. Because when I was doing it, I didn't want no interruptions at that point. And somehow, because I tried to call my mom when I was driving, and Do Not Disturb was on, so I couldn't even call. So I'm like, my best bet is to get to my grandma's house. Somehow my phone was off Do Not Disturb, and, like, my mom was on the phone. Like, I don't know how that even happened. Once again, I'm talking that to God, bro, because they don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And so and before the neighbor even came out, I was talking to my mom, telling her what happened. And he came, he got the phone, and actually, Lauren's mom ended up being on the phone at some point as well. Yeah. By the time the neighbor come outside, Lauren's mom was on the phone. I remember hearing her voice a little bit. Shout out Mama Gardner.
Yeah.
I love you forever. But yeah, so they called the ambulance, and I don't remember too much after that. They said the ambulance got there, and I walked from my car to the ambulance. Still, at this point, I still hadn't had no medical attention.
Jeez.
I don't know how that. It's crazy, bro. It's all crazy. And then I remember waking up the hospital. They ripping my clothes off, trying to get breathing tube on me with the whoop, and yeah, I think like the next morning or 2 days later, whatever it was, and I woke up and my mom was there. And I just started laughing, bro. I'm just like, I'm really still here, man. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, bro. I just, it's people talk about suicide, right? People might have had family members that did it, friends that did it, whatever, and they look at it, you was selfish, and all these things. And people don't understand, bro. Like, for one, depression is so serious, and it's such a powerful thing that if you ain't really dealt with it, you're not gonna understand it, bro. Yeah. Let alone if you've been dealing with it for years and years and years. But a part of me doing what I did was I hated my life. Yeah, I didn't like my situation. Yeah, I didn't like the things that have happened to me that I feel like I didn't get, that I wasn't, I didn't get the right justice for. I mean, I can name a whole bunch of things. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that I didn't like who I was turning into. Yeah. I didn't, with the anger and with the depression and just the circumstances was doing, it was making me very, very angry. And it made me want to hurt people, bro. Like, I was getting to the point where it's like, bro, like, and that's the whole thing about, before I even did what I did to myself, I'm pulling up at somebody else's house. Like, this is where that's leading me to. It's like, I feel like I would rather die being at least a piece of what I am, and then growing up, getting older, and turning into a monster, bro, and not even be able to recognize myself no more. And people don't understand that, dog. Like people can feel themselves changing at times, and they don't want to be like that. They don't want to turn into that. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. God is real. Like, I mean, I knew God was real before that, but God, like, He just knows everything, man. For sure. He knows everything. He got our best interest at heart, and it's like that also told me too. Like, we really go on His time. Like, it gave me like this a clear visual of how when things happen as crazy as they are, I feel like God has to allow certain things. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because it's people who didn't die from lists, people who got shot in their leg and died. It's people who, then ate some food and died like the next. This is crazy stuff. Like, bro, I shouldn't have been here, but I am for a reason, and God is adamant about that, bro. Like, it's our life to live, but He gives it to us, and He has to be the one to take it away. Yeah, and that's what I took from that. It's like, so I woke up and I was like, bro, I'll never do that again, no matter how bad it get, no matter how bad I feel. It's up to God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I still deal with depression at times now, but it would never get to that level because I know it's in God's hands, bro. When He want me not to be here no more, I won't be here no more. And as long as I'm living, He want me to live. Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah. I love that, man. And like I said, you got one of the most powerful stories, bro, because it's people that's dealing with some of the same stuff that you dealt with, and just hearing that probably released the burden off their shoulders. And I see you got this shirt, which I think is dope, man, that you and your granddad. Yeah. So talk about who he is to you, or who he was to you. Yeah, man. He was like my dad for real, bro. He was like my dad, man. Like, he taught me how to drive. My memories are like, I ain't the best handyman now, but like any memories I got working on some kind of car or something like that, I did that with him. You know what I'm saying? Taught me how to cut pancakes, cut my first pancakes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he was my dad for real, man. He the reason why I saw the world. Like I didn't travel outside of my grandparents for real growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like he showed me places, took me places, and like he was my dad for real, man. Him as a person, he was the best man I ever met. Yeah. He was super intelligent, super wise. Like, even to this day, I don't understand how he knew so much about everything, right? So you got people who be super smart. They might just know it all about computers, or you can ask them about the Bible, they can recite any verse real quick, or ask them about sports and they can tell you stats from 1970. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he knew so much about everything, and it was just so crazy to me. He was a super smart man. He was super smart. He was a math major. Like he was really smart. He was really caring. He was old school, so he wasn't like he was just a super. wasn't a super nicest, cheesy person, but he, you know, but he had a good heart. He cared about who he cared about, man. He did so much for his family. He sacrificed it all for his family, bro. Like and I just respect him so much, man. That was my guy, man. I couldn't. It's still crazy to think he not here. It's 4 years this year, and it's still crazy to me that he gone.
Yeah, man. And you a father now, bro. So, and I just love how you are with your son, man. It's dope to see, you with your own family. So, like, what has that been like for you being a dad, and what's some stuff that you learned from your grandfather, just your experiences as a man that has helped you become a better father?
Yeah, so being a father is so cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I love being a dad, man. It's fun. It's one of them things. It's give me pure joy, bro.
Yeah.
Like just seeing him happy, seeing him smile, like knowing that I made him smile, knowing I made him laugh.
Yeah.
Like it made me so happy, bro. Like I'm proud of him. He's a very, very bright kid. But as far as like what I've learned from my grandpa, I just feel like really just being better than what you had, right?
Yeah.
And so my grandpa used to tell us all the time, like I said, he old school, so his dad was like old school times two. And he tried to be better with his kids. There'd be times where like he told me, he be getting ready to whoop my mom and my aunties and like he would like freeze and like break down crying. He'd go to the next room by himself and break down crying because he realized like he doing exactly what his dad did. And so his whole thing was to not be like his dad.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. And so just really like just taking what you learned and doing better. And so I feel the same way. And so like my grandpa was like my dad, but I did have my actual dad in my life for a while too. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like taking what I went through and not being that and not doing that, and really just just being a real man, just stand on what you stand on what you believe, stand on like who you are as a person. My grandpa wasn't on some be super tough or got to respond to everything, be on some hothead stuff, but he did stand on principle, and he stood on respect, and so that's stuff that I take with me, like protect your family by any means, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And as I stated, as we winded down, like I believe that you got, because I don't listen to many people that do music that I know unless they stuff really hitting, and besides you, my cousin, and my boy Lico and Eli, those are probably, and my boy DJ, those are probably the people, like I said, I can count on hand how many people I listen to. But like, what is your favorite song that you created? Because I want to give you this opportunity. I always believe in giving flowers to people while they can smell them. So again, I love what you're doing, bro. So just what's coming for you, and what would you say is your favorite song that you've done so far?
That's tricky, man. I think one of my I don't know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite, but it's the first one that come to mind. It's one of my favorites, most def, top 3. Mm-hmm. It's called Astronaut's Paradise. Mm-hmm. And it's probably one of my lower strain songs. Yeah. And I mean, to me that don't matter. I love the song. What I'm saying? If you love the song, you love the song. I love that song, bro. I just feel like it's kind of weird. I think it's some things that I talked about in that song that kind of ended up coming to fruition in real life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to always have some kind of significance to me. And it's just, I don't know, I like vibing to it. So that's what Astronaut's Paradise is one of my favorite songs, bro. Like that made for sure. Yeah, but as far as what's coming, I just shot a video for this song called Fort Knox on Sunday. The song not out yet, so there's nowhere you can hear it yet. But I'm gonna drop the video, and then I'm gonna drop the audio after that. But yeah, man, I got a lot written. I'm writing all the time. I've been in a real groove lately. The thing about being an artist, bro, like you gonna have times where like you might get writer's block, and you might not get to writing it for a couple of weeks, whatever it is. But I've been in a groove lately. I got a lot of stuff I'm about to put out, a lot of different sound and stuff. I'm always just trying to experiment, man. I feel like it's so much to get into with music. It's so many different avenues. Even if we talking about just rap, like you can just do different stuff within rap, bro. So it's like I got a lot of stuff I'm about to put out soon, man.
Yeah. And where can the people find you if they want to, tap into your music?
Yeah, so James Posey on Instagram, James Posey 3 on Twitter, and yeah, JPosey on Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms. Look up JPosey, YouTube. I got videos on there. Look me up on all music platforms. JPosey, my music is there, and like I said, it's a lot more coming. So yeah, just stay tuned. And I appreciate everybody that's been, supporting me. I appreciate you too for sure, bro. Like, and that's the thing too, man. We talk about, kind of doubling back about this circle, this walk of life we come from. Like, it ain't even many people who like really support what I'm doing and come from that way. And you one of them. I always appreciate that, bro, for sure.
Definitely, man. I always believe in, showing my people love. And, even if it's somebody that I don't know that's doing something positive, I will always feel like somebody needs that, bro. So
yeah.
No problem at all. So I don't tell my guests about this next part, but I got these cards here, and I'm going to have you pick one of them. We're going to pick a few before we get out of here. This game is called Let Me Get to Know You. So you're going to have a different category. You got to open the card up after you read the category, and then you answer the question based on the selections that's on there.
Name your top 5 inspirations of people you look up to. My grandfather, my papa. I'm not gonna lie, both of my grandpas really, on my mom and dad's side. My grandpa Sidney and my grandpa Andrew. Rest in peace to him. Those two. I'm gonna go Kobe. I'm gonna go Robert Williams. Rest in peace to him. He was an activist from like back in the 1960s. I feel like his story needs to be heard more. A lot of people don't know about him. People need to sidebar, look up Negroes with Guns by Robert Williams. It's a very, very insightful book. It's not talked about in our history books. It's not, you're gonna find it too many places. So I'll say look him up, please, if you're interested in Black history. And then number 5. I'll probably go my Uncle Reuben.
Okay. For me, I would say both my parents. Eric Thomas. So that's 3 right there. I got 2 more. Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan.
Okay.
So I just love what Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, nobody's perfect. None of the people I named are perfect. Well, none of us are. But I just love how he took a stand on, like, hey, I'm not going to a war where, like you said, people didn't call me out my name. People didn't disrespect me. None of these people did anything to me. And he was willing to give up the heavyweight title, which in his career was the most sought out title ever. So that just shows you what type of man he was. And so this next one I got is, name your top 5 cereals.
See, the thing is, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a super cereal guy, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number 1. Like, we go in order. That's top of the charts every time. Lucky Charms probably in there. Fruity Pebbles probably in there. Fruit Loops probably in there.
Yeah.
Number 5. I feel like I'm forgetting one low key, bro. Maybe like a certain flavored Cheerios, not the regular Cheerios. Like a certain flavored Cheerios might do it.
Okay.
Wait. Does hot cereal count?
Yeah, it don't matter.
I'll put cream of wheat in there. Then we doing hot cereal
for sure. Now that you said that, I'll put cream of wheat in there. I love me some oatmeal. I can't eat it without brown sugar though.
Same.
And maybe some raisins in there here and there.
Yeah.
That's 2. I'll put Frosted Rice Krispies in there. That's something I've been eating lately. Lucky Charms, I'll put Lucky Charms in there too. And I I'm gonna go Fruit Loops for my last one this time.
No Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Nah,
that's crazy.
The crazy
bro.
thing is, my brother loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and my best friend, that's her favorite cereal. I'm like, I can't get with it. I had it one time, and I never ate it again, bro. I'm gonna let you pick one more.
That's wild.
Everybody say that. They be like, bro, you ain't rocking with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm like, nah, bro, I can't do it.
I grabbed two, my bad. See. Name your favorite moment of 2024 so far. That's so tough, though. I feel like so my mind go a few different places, right? I might think, oh yeah, my son turned 2.
Yeah.
And then I might also think, oh yeah, this song hit so many streams, or you know, like so. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably say my video shoot this past Sunday, bro. It was fun, man.
Yeah.
I'll say that was like real fun and real eye opening for me. I'll probably say the video shoot. Yeah.
I'm in between low key too. I would probably say seeing some of my mentees recently go off to school and seeing like the look on their face and how excited they were, because we've been dealing with them for the last 4 or 5 years, and you know they've been through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lost loved ones, lost one of them lost their mom, and another one was a foster child. So just seeing how they prevailed, and you know God kept them, and now they actually, you know, on their way to school. And like I told them, like, I'm not shocked that y'all where y'all are, because this was supposed to happen. Like so many times, you know, they see our people and they like, oh, they define the odds, but it's like, bro, my parents always taught me, like, you're not the exception, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you supposed to be here. Not on no cocky stuff, but like God ordained this.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a shock to you, but it's not a shock to God. It may be a shock to other people, but it's not a shock to him, because you were made for this, and all you had to do was continue to unlock the things in your life that he's shown you along your journey so you could get to this point. And the second one is probably my brother being back home. So like spending time with him. It's been a minute since I like spent a whole bunch of time with him because he was in the Navy or whatever. So he back home for the summer. So that was just dope to, you know, it's been dope to.
I know your brother a long time, boy. I know your brother a long time. I got a story about him that happened in, like, what was it, preschool, kindergarten? It was in preschool. I probably ain't gonna share it. I don't want to, but I know your brother a long time, dog. I remember going to his he had a pool party somewhere. We was like 5, dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. So I'm grateful to have him back. And so before we close out, man, I always like to end with a quote. Today, the quote is from Angela Davis. She says, "I am no longer accepting the things that I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept." And so when I look at your story, bro, I'm just amazed because you chose not to let life defeat you. You chose to, you know, take that next step and be all that God has called you to be. So again, I appreciate you, bro. Got nothing but love for you, man. Thank you for pulling up. Thank y'all for tuning in to the converSAYtion podcast. We'll see y'all same time, same place.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. My guy. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt, bro. Appreciate
What was
you,
this
man.
story?